Hello, Hannah. How are you today? Today I want to talk to you about negative space and the idea of negative space as it relates to the picture that you see here. So negative space is the idea that basically negative actually opposed to positive space. Positive space is usually the area that you focus on. Negative space is usually the thing that's around it. For example, if you see a picture of a vase and the vase was white, you would see that would be considered the positive space, and the negative space would be the darkness around said vase. Or if you have a picture of a child, and then the background is that there's nothing really in the background, it's just white, then that becomes your negative space because the idea is that the positive space is what you focus on. So I really want to take this picture and work on kind of reverse the idea of negative space, in that you're working with a ninja. And so you're not only dealing primarily with black as an outfit, but then have to go back over that in white and accentuate the stuff that would come out in, folds or armament, different things like that would come out onto the body of said ninja. And I didn't want to overdo it. I didn't want to go in and do a whole bunch of stuff because there again, ninjas don't have a whole lot of highlights in their outfits normally. But I wanted to take this picture and really work on that. I also really wanted to focus on the smoke and things behind him. Again, because in this case, and I'm just showing you some of the paints that I'm working with here. These are inexpensive paints that I picked up at Walmart. And it's just a little acrylic paints. And so basically the idea was to not only work on the ninja himself and come in with a black background of him, but then also to go in and work up the smoke so that it has some layers and dimensions as well. So I didn't want just flat smoke. I wanted the smoke to have some volume, some depth, and to really give that idea of kind of that I'm a ninja in the smoke, kind of coming out of it, doing things and being mysterious, because that's what ninjas do. Ninjas, disappear out of smoke and stuff like that. And so I had to learn a lot about thickness of the paint as I was working with this as well. I wanted to make sure that I wasn't just throwing down just hard color. I wanted it to have a blend to it. So I had to make sure to add more water to the brush and things like that in order to get that effect and go in and just really work the shadows, work the lights, work the different things to pop the ninja out more, but at the same time kind of be like, I only want you to see me because I want you to see me before what happens next. If you know anything about ninjas, what happens next isn't always pretty for people. But anyway, I really wanted the opportunity to kind of advance the picture itself and keep it, not really monochromatic, because I didn't want it just to be one color primarily. I wanted it, but I didn't want it to be a whole lot of color in the picture. Again, since I'm working on comic book type stuff, the comic book that I'm working on is going to be mostly done in black and white, with the exception, of course, of your color covers and things like that. So I wanted pictures in the book that were very, very black and white, look really good black and white. So that's kind of the idea there. Anyway, as far as who this ninja is, what it's for, that's more of a surprise for when the book comes out. But I just wanted to give you guys some ideas on how to, as you're building artwork, as you're looking at artwork, I wanted to give you something that you could work with as far as a different way of drawing, perhaps. Because I know one thing about smoke and things like that, and really not only smoke giving it volume, but also more importantly, the figure, keeping the figure there. Because that it's in the smoke, you want to kind of keep him there, but at the same time, you want to make sure that you don't ever want to draw what's considered a flat image, even when you're working in black. You always want to find ways to make the image feel three-dimensional. Because again, the whole point in drawing a lot of times is to fool the eye into believing that a 2D surface has a 3D picture on it. That's the thing that it's interesting when you're doing, especially when you're doing like a paint media or when you're doing traditional artwork. Even when you're doing digital, you really want to focus on bringing that three-dimensionality.